Hey guys, so it's actually been a minute. How are we all doing? Come in. Yeah, sorry, it's been a minute and I just wanted to come on here actually and just like update you on life, update you on how things are going. This is like probably a 6 months check-in from when I decided to leave my 9 to 5, and I just wanted to bring you up to date with like things I'm learning, things I'm doing, how the journey's going. And yeah, so get relaxed. It's gonna be an interesting one. Okay, so it has been around 6 months since I have taken this journey to, better myself and do my own thing. And boy, has it been an interesting journey. Wow, it has been very interesting. I think I'm going to break this down into a few key sections of things that I have been learning. I think this could be helpful for anybody who's on this journey, about to start it, or when they're actually thinking about taking this journey. I think the first one is definitely going to be, I'm going to hit up straight, and it is, you don't realize that like in your mind when you decide to make the decision to, you don't realize actually until you're in the role, because obviously you don't know anything and you're just basing off what you've heard, what you've seen, but you don't realize actually how much more you will work and how difficult it can be in the beginning stages when you're still figuring things out. For example, for me, it's definitely like you'll probably work 10 times harder than you actually expect, because there is so much really dependent on you and your expertise. And to be honest, when you're doing your own thing, it really comes back to you. No one is there. You have no boss next to you pushing you, motivating you. You decide it, so you can decide how fast or slow you go. And if you decide that you really want to give it everything, because you know at the end of the day, if you don't make things work, no one's gonna make things work. Like, you will work so much more harder than you expect. And I think, again, with that, I've shared a lot on Instagram but something I'm realizing is, because you are, so much of your time is going into what you're building and you are like doing your own thing, it just naturally, and so many like founders share this, but naturally probably your social life won't be the same as before. Actually, probably would. Like, if you saw loads of your friends before, depending again on what you're building and what you're doing, but the nature of loads of relationships will change because your time is so limited. And I just think it's so important. I think you will never really understand when you're until you're in the journey yet, because I've definitely been someone who I spent a lot of time anyway by myself, but now it is definitely a lot more. And because people are living their own lives and doing their own things, quite a few people, majority of people, won't really understand your journey that you're on. So it's not only that you're lonely, but those around you just, they don't understand it, and because they're doing their own thing. And that's why one thing I've learned is to also build a community, if you can, of other entrepreneurs also on your journey, sharing similar things you're going through, because that will help you so much, whether it's across reach out to. And I'll put a list of like different places you can find people. But for me, social media has been a great way to like meet other people who are on my journey, as I share more stuff about my own journey and entrepreneurship. But there are loads of different forums and networking societies that you can, because I've definitely learned it's so important to make sure where you can that you connect with others who are on the same journey as you, and still try to maintain as many relationships as possible, even though you won't be as fully free as you was before, because it's hard and you need people, you need to talk to people. Number two, people have asked me, on social media, how is your mental health? How are you doing there? And obviously, I don't give out medical advice, or, I'm just sharing my own personal experience, and everything I share as well on my channel. I just have to, say this again, re-emphasize that this is always my personal experience and just me sharing my truth. By no means am I encouraging anyone to take this journey if you are still unsure, if you're not sure. Like, you have to do what's best for you at your own pace, because once you decide to go on it, it is, at the end of the day, you versus you every day. But how's my mental health been? I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've had loads of highs and lows on this journey. And that's like, entrepreneurship roller coaster. And yeah, there's been loads of difficult moments, challenges that I faced with, like, you know, building my business, at the same time trying to build my brand via social media and build my community, and loads of highs as well, and loads of moments where I've really been pushed outside my comfort zone with trying new things out. But I think one thing that has helped me, right, is that, and I think now I'm drawing at one conclusion of, you know, why certain people do well as entrepreneurs. And I've learned that if you have like innate ability to, you know, when failure, if you have an innate ability to like overcome quite a few things and stay resilient in the face of difficulties, then this journey will be a lot more easier. I think definitely in my life, I've had so many situations where I've been up against the wall, and I've constantly had to pick myself up and pull myself up and, you know, heal myself essentially. That I think that has made me now suitable for this experience, or just suitable for some of the challenges that I've faced. And I know that, like, if someone else probably was going through this, it would be a lot for them. Like, I'm gonna be, again, honest, like, I have had loads. I've had some days where I just cry, just like, it's a lot, but I know, like, it's all part of the journey. I know why I'm doing this, and I have to constantly remind myself. However, that does not take away from the fact that this is a lot. It is a very difficult journey. I think what also helps with me is that I share it across, and again, this is not for everybody, but for me, what helps is that when I share it, there's people in my community who can relate and who are also on similar things. So, you know, it's like a burden shared. I don't know if that's the saying, but my mental health I think my mental health has been okay during this journey, right? But generally, I've been someone that has been through quite a few things in life, so I know how to overcome and pick myself up and stay resilient, which is helpful. But I also do, you know, I'm grateful for the journey I've gone through. I always think to myself, knowing what I know now, would I still choose a different path if I could go back? And it's like, no, like, this is the life that I want. Even though when I'm going through hard moments, I'm like, this is the story I want to tell for myself, and that keeps me going. And that reminds me that, like, okay, even though you're feeling sometimes like, what is going on, why is this so hard, like, this is the story you want to write for yourself. And then with life, like, you have to choose the life that you want for yourself, and know that the path will look different. Like, someone's path, like, my path is going to look different to someone else, but I know, again, why I am on this. So I know as well so I know why I'm on this, but also I know that it will be difficult and it will be hard, and it's not going to be straightforward. And when I know that, when I'm up against these hard moments, in retrospective, I'm like, this is part of why you've chosen this. I think another thing that I've learned on this journey is that when you're building something, a product, a business, whatever, how you start off building it, so the first few months, right, will look probably completely different to, you know, as the time goes on, right, to month 6, 7, 8. Because you're constantly iterating, you're constantly speaking to your target audience and clients, and, you know, understanding more of their needs and changing things, tweaking things. And I've learned that it is okay to, you know, be fully flexible, as long as I'm constantly, you know, trying to find the best solution to the problem that I'm solving, a solution that actually meets the needs of my target audience. Then I have to iterate, and I have to keep on changing until I find that, like, I say this a lot, but now I'm actually really understanding it. Like, a lot of this year, I've just been working through the confusion, trusting my gut, trying again, keep on going, keep on, you know, trying. If something works, you stick with it. If something doesn't, then you try something else. You go back and speak to your users, you go back and speak to your clients, and making sure that you're, you know, constantly iterating to find that best solution. And doubts will come, because you don't know what the road ahead looks like. You are just hoping and praying that you are building the right thing constantly and collecting. And as you're doing that, you're constantly collecting loads and loads of data to reinforce, like, your assumptions or to change them. So I've learned that I need to sit and be okay with the doubts, sit and be okay with the fact that, like, you know, maybe in a month from now, something that I said I thought would have been right wouldn't have. And again, because I'm the person in charge and leading it, I have to be okay with myself. And this is what I think some people don't realize. Again, when you leave your 9 to 5, you are fully in charge when you leave. I have this notion online that like you can do that we have this notion online that like you're your own boss and you can, you know, fly out here and join it. And I want to tell you the reality of my days. Most of the days I sit in my chair and I just, morning to night, I just work. And that's the reality. And some people will be like, whoa, but this is what entrepreneurship is like. I mean, there's sometimes I literally don't go out. Okay, another thing I've realized is you definitely need to schedule in time for fun wherever you can, and take care of yourself, because again, it is so easy to get into that rat race of just work. And I was there, I'm still probably still there, but I'm doing better. And I've made sure that I have moments where I look forward to, like I was doing when I had a full-time job, scheduling the time to see people that like mean a lot to me, going to do things that I love, reminding myself as well. And I think this is something that's so key that I've learned recently, is that this entrepreneurship is really a long game. And you have to be okay with that. So if you have to be okay with that, you still have to schedule in time for fun and enjoy the process. Because if not, you will look back and just realize that like things are going to change anyway. Like what I'm building may not look the same as what I thought it would be. So I might as well just really take every moment as a learning opportunity and enjoy everything. And the last thing I've learned, and I've talked about this a lot in my Brussels vlog, and is that you probably will be uncomfortable a lot and like have, you know, some anxious moments, and that's okay. Like that is actually okay. In those moments it's hard and you probably think, why am I doing this? I want to quit, this is too hard. But you have to again remember the path you are going down. It is not many people are on that same path, and that's why it's so hard to find people to talk to about it. So it's okay if you are having those moments where you're just overwhelmed or anxious. But if you know that this journey is for you and you're meant to be someone who is their own boss or an entrepreneur, then you have to remember that you have to push those down. You have to constantly be pushing those doubts to the side, or even feel those anxious moments, feel those that, and push through them. I've also understood the importance recently of finding a coach or a mentor who's been on a similar journey as you, who can guide you as much as possible. At the end of the day, like your business still belongs to you, your journey still belongs to you, so you have this deciding factor. But someone that can, you know, help you, who's gone down a similar path as you, who can help you avoid some of the mistakes that you don't need to make, because boy, that's another thing, mistakes. I'll go on to that. But so who can help you avoid loads of the mistakes that you don't need to make. Mistakes, I've made loads. I have made loads of mistakes, and some of them I'm just, like even today like I made such a silly mistake because I didn't want to ask someone a question, and then I ended up doing the wrong thing anyway. So you'll make a load of mistakes, and I think entrepreneurship is just being okay with that and keep on pushing on. So yeah, because it will be hard. It is a lot. It really is. Like this is not for everybody, and I'm learning that more and more. Like it is difficult, it is lonely, it's hard, but then you have to remember why is it that people do choose the path of entrepreneurship. It's because eventually you can buy back your freedom. You can have your own time to do what you want to do. You can live the life that you want for yourself. You can be yourself. And I think for me, even though where I am now, and I'm still relatively early, but I just want to document as many stages as possible so I can look back and remember this as well, and provide this as, you know, a source of hope or guidance for someone else. But like it's also remembering, you know, when you're in the beginning, remember your why you're doing this, why you are constantly on this path, why you are getting up day after day. If you remember those things, the kind of owner, boss, entrepreneur you're trying to be, that will help you remain in the hard times. But the journey is beautiful, and the rewards, will be felt. I'm learning, I'm developing, I have grown so much, and I'm grateful for this journey, grateful for this channel, grateful for this community as well. And yeah, so that's it for me now. So yeah, but that's it for now, and do enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye.